All right, Jason, if we run down this transfer portal, you said 9 in the portal. You don't need to run them all down, but, who's significant in regards to who's going to be missed? How are they going to be replaced? Any surprises there? Just kind of give us the overview of the transfer portal losses.
Yeah, 9 guys so far. A couple of them, caught me a little bit by surprise. Didn't shock me, but caught me a little bit by surprise. The one that probably surprised me the most was defensive end Kevin Swint. This is a kid that is looking at a lot of playing time next year. He was in the 2 deep this year. Clemson is expected to lose pretty much all those defensive ends out of the 2 deep except for Kevin Swint. So, he was really the only guy that was going to return with a lot of experience next year, supposedly. You see a guy like that enter the portal, it gets you to thinking maybe somebody's coming back. We weren't expecting to come back. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I think defensive end is a position to keep an eye on for Clemson. I think it's a position of concern going forward. They're losing so many guys, or it looks like they're going to lose so many guys. And without Swint, the guys behind those guys that are leaving have very little to no experience. So, it's definitely a position to keep an eye on. Running back Kobe Pace entered the portal. He's a guy that was kind of the co-backup behind Will Shipley with Phil Maffa. Got hurt in that Wake Forest game, missed a few weeks. And once he came back, Maffa had secured that second spot all by himself. Pace didn't see the field very much at all over the last couple of games. So it wasn't all that shocking to see him leave. But this is one I don't think Clemson's really prepared for either in this recruiting class. They have all along planned to take one guy. With Pace gone, now you kind of need 2 running backs. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out at that position too. That they're kind of targeting 2 running backs in this class right now, Jamarius Haynes and Chris Johnson. And for a while, it looked like it was going to be first come, first serve. Whoever jumped on board first was going to get the spot. Now I'm thinking they might take both if they can land both. If they can't land both, maybe that's the spot you have to look at in the portal. But outside of that, it was guys, that didn't play a lot. Linebacker Levante Bentley, who is a very good player. He just got out recruited. He's in the portal. E.J. Williams, wide receiver, who was very talented coming out of high school. I want to say he was a top 100 player coming out of high school. Really showed flashes over the back half of his freshman season. There were some comparisons to Justin Ross. Then he gets hurt last year, a couple different injuries. He didn't play a whole lot. And this year he's just not produced. He got passed by on the depth chart, didn't play much after the first couple of games of the season. Started to play more towards the back end of the season with some guys got banged up, but I think he saw the writing on the wall. He's a guy that could probably benefit from a fresh start. And, that's mostly the same story for most of the guys that went in the portal yesterday, guys that have been out-recruited. And for the most part, I think Clemson's already addressed all that in this current recruiting class outside of, Pace, who I talked about a minute ago.
Yeah, E.J. Williams, 24 receptions that freshman season you're talking about with 2 touchdowns, and he's only caught 9 and 7 balls the next 2 seasons.